Hey ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? My name is Alan and I own two companies. One of them is Contractor License Schools, and we have trained up thousands and thousands of contractors throughout California. And I also own a business called Corp Nation. And Corp Nation sets up corporations all over America for all different types of entities and programs. But today I want to talk to you specifically, since I tend to specialize in the area of construction. I want to talk to you about what corporations should I get for construction? Well, or what kind of entity? How should you set up your business? So let me give you the basics here and we'll go from there. So the first thing is there are a variety of different types of entities. So the first one is your sole proprietorship. The second one is a partnership, which is very similar to that. I'll talk more about that in detail. The next one is your LLC. Of course, many of you have heard about LLCs. And then we have what's known as your S corp. And then finally, you have what's known as a C corp, okay? Now, interesting enough, I'm gonna point out which one would be the best for you, no matter what state you're in. And I'm also gonna point out which one would be the worst. More specifically, this one would be the worst for California. Now, interesting to note, when money comes in to all of these scenarios, whenever you're doing and raising money and you're doing projects and you're selling clients, all these are pass-through entities except one, and that's the C corporation. So it's taxed at 21% currently, and that changes depending on who's running the country at that particular time. So I usually highly recommend that people kind of stay away from that one in construction, unless you plan on going big, maybe going on the stock market and or raising up over 100 employees. And then you consider that. And you can always convert from an S corp to a C corp. So what you want to do is you want to know that all these are pass-through entities. Now, specifically in California, the one you do not want to do is the LLC. And that's because California has some specific laws, and that is, one, you have to have $100,000, whoop, hold on, pen's dropping. You have to have a $100,000 bond, okay? So a $100,000 bond, that doesn't look pretty. It doesn't have to look all that great, but let me just get that nice and dialed in. So you have to have a $100,000 bond, and you have to have 2 surety bonds, which they're going up right now to $25,000. So 2x that bad boy. You have to have 2 surety bonds. And then you still can't even get your contractor's license. This is under the LLC, ladies and gentlemen. You also have to get general liability insurance. A $2 million policy is going to run you currently in the year 2022-23 about $1,600 for the year if you haven't had any incidences in the past. So now you're out that $1,600. Total combined to get this $100,000 bond, you're looking at about $12,000 to $15,000 depending on your credit, maybe a little lower if you have exceptional credit. These are going to cost you a couple $100. This is going to cost you $1,600. You know, you're out some money close to $15,000 just trying to get the LLC. But here's the crazy thing. When money comes out of these ones, the LLC, you're getting this money coming out. In other words, you're taking it for pay. Your self-employment tax is going to be 15.3%. So let's say you take $100,000 out in some kind of draw or dividend. Most of these only can do draws. The S corp and the C corp can take what's called dividends, but they're divided differently, and I'll show you how that works. So what happens is, let's say you take $100,000 out, you're paying $15,300 in self-employment tax with your sole proprietorship. For a partnership, you're paying the same thing if you're taking out that money. The LLC, you're paying the same thing, 15.3, which is $15,300. And the C corp, if you take out monies in a draw form, you're still going to pay the 15.3% in self-employment tax. Now, the S corp is the only one. So watch this. It's the only one. I'm going to circle this in black so you can see that. It's the only one that gets a reduction, and you have to only pay 7.65%. So in 1 year, I've just saved you, if you pull out $100,000, $7,650. Now, with the S corp, you don't need the $100,000 bond. You don't need 2 surety bonds. You don't need general liability insurance in order to hang your contractor's license under an S corp. That's why the best one that you want in California is the S Corp. Now, in all the other states, the reason why you want the S Corp over the LLC is because you still save money on the self-employment tax for which you're liable for. So you still want to go that pathway. Now, of course, we know that sole proprietorships are basically the most dangerous. You set up your business and you don't have any asset protection. Your home's not protected because this is based on your Social Security. So if your business goes bad, then you lose your home, you lose everything. So one gentleman, he hired this person, he got him into the house, and they were working and they were tarping everything. He said he had to run to Home Depot. The guy had a sole proprietorship with the $2 million insurance policy and work comp and all that kind of stuff. The guy, when the owner left of the construction company, the worker raped the wife of the home. The family got in a mess. It was crazy. The family sued the company. They sued him for $5 million. The $2 million kind of covered it. That was a whole legal insurance issue, but $3 million wasn't covered, so they had to go and take that contractor's home. You are not protected under a sole proprietorship. Every CPA will tell you that once you have an employee or own a home, you need to be not a sole proprietor, you need to be a corporation. Besides, as a sole proprietor, let's say you go to the county recorder's office and you purchase a name, and it's a cool name, whatever your name is, Acme Construction Inc., and you're out there, you build a reputation, people love you, people are calling you, your word of mouth is amazing because people are using you. And then someone with a corporation realizes, hey, they're not incorporated. Your name is not protected. So what they do is they incorporate your name for that state, and now that name is protected under that corporation for that state, and they can legally send you a notice to cease and desist to not use that name. Just in California alone, there are 150,000 contractors in a sole proprietor form. They need to transition into a corporation. So there's a lot of other reasons, ladies and gentlemen, that are going to safeguard you, protect you. Remember, I own the contractor licensing schools and I own Corp Nation, and I want to make sure that you are set up for business in such a way that you can grow and thrive. By the way, if you want to get the foundational steps in setting up your life and your business in a way that's going to save you on taxes, save you on interest, keep more money in your pocket, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and go down below and watch my other video. Hey guys and gals, thank you for being a part of this program. I hope you jump in and let us form your S Corporation, because we are going to do it right, because that's what we do. We specialize in construction. My name is Alan with the Contractor License School, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace out.